How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to talk about tax refunds and how you really should not be getting a tax refund at all because you're just giving a loan to the government. You probably heard other people say that before, but I really want to drive it home that you really don't want to have a tax refund at all. In fact, at the end of the year, you really want to pay as much taxes as you can without incurring a penalty from the government. This is your typical W-4 form. This is something that you fill out at the beginning of your employment that says how many exemptions that you're going to use in order to apply to your paycheck. The more exemptions that you're able to get, the less taxes that's going to be withheld from your paycheck. Ideally, if you set the exemptions perfectly, you're not going to get a tax refund, nor will you have to pay any taxes. Now let me address the elephant in the room because some people really prefer to have a really large tax refund at the end of the year. Now why would people say that? Mainly because during the year they are forced to not be able to spend that tax refund. So when they do get that tax refund, it feels like they're getting a lot of money, but really throughout the whole year they're actually making payments to the government into this tax refund that they get at the end. Now all these payments that you're making to the government, you actually receive no interest on it. So if you set the exemptions properly, you can technically take that money and put it in a savings account and earn some interest on it, and at the end of the year you would actually get even more than that tax refund. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not have this self-control where if they save some money, they can actually leave it in the savings account. Now, if you're not the type of person to have that kind of self-control, go ahead and leave things as is, get a big refund at the end, and you can be happy getting a big refund. Now, for people that have really good self-control, even if you have a credit card with a $10,000 credit limit, you're not going to go on spending sprees and you generally have really good control over your finances, then you really should try to set your exemptions perfectly as well. Now you can also argue that for people that are strapped for cash and they get a large refund at the end of the year, they could adjust their exemption so they get a little bit bigger paycheck every single month, and this would actually help your cash flow a bit better throughout the whole year. Of course, if you adjust it at the end, you're not going to get a big refund. To illustrate this properly, imagine you get a $2,000 refund at the end of the year. Now, in order to accumulate this $2,000, you're actually giving to the government $166 every single month. So you can see the amount that the government holds for you increases throughout the year until at the end they have $2,000 of your money. If you take the average balance over 1 year, it's about $1,000. Of course, you don't get your refund till sometime in May likely, so they're going to hold this for 1 year and several months on top of that. But for simplicity's sake, let's just call it 1 year. And interest rate these days is about 1% APY for a high yield savings account. So if you stuff that $1,000 in a 1%, you're going to get another $10. Now $10 isn't much, but it is 1% more than what you didn't have. Looking at this in terms of stuffing money into a savings account may not be the right way to do it, because you might be in a budget where you're strapped for cash and you might be borrowing against a credit card or something, and having that $166 per month extra may just get you so that you do not have to borrow against a credit card. So instead of borrowing all this money from the credit card, you set your exemptions properly and take that extra money and just start paying off your credit cards. You can do it that way. But you can imagine if your credit card is about 20% APR, $1,000 times 20%, it's really $200 that is costing you. So adjusting your exemptions is a really quick and easy way for someone that has credit card debt to try to use that money to pay off their credit card debt instead. Now this is the W-4 form. You can go through it. I'm not going to go through every single little line because it is boring as heck. One thing I do want to mention is on item 7 here, if you do not have to pay any taxes, which most people need to pay taxes, alright? Then you would write exempt here, which means you're probably making something really little so that you do not have to pay any taxes at all. For most cases, anybody in a full-time position, you are not exempt from paying taxes, and very little people are actually exempt from paying taxes. For most people, do not write exempt here in line item 7. I hope you enjoy this method of thinking about how you should get a tax refund or not. A lot of people keep on thinking that getting a tax refund is great and they kind of brag about it almost. Hey, you guys, I got a tax refund for $2,000. It's like they got a bonus or something. Yes, it feels that way, but hey, for me, I rather get zero tax refund and actually I pay taxes instead. You want to pay taxes because in that case, the government gave you a loan instead. So you gotta know you can't pay too much taxes at the end of the year because they do wage a penalty on you if you have to pay a lot back. Don't forget to give me a like on this video, comment down below, let me know if you'd like to give the government a free loan in the form of a tax refund. If you're interested in supporting this channel, I have an Audible link down in the video description below where you can get a free audiobook, and even if you cancel the trial period, you can still keep the audiobook and you can still help benefit this channel. You can also get a 30-day free trial of Gamefly down in the video description below. There's a Patreon over here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.